Hey everybody, so this is me here again, Dallas Stone. Gonna be doing the 30-30 challenge. This is day 3, and hallelujah. But today my little brother isn't in the background, so hopefully the recording is gonna be nice and clear. And I'm actually just gonna turn on the gain here on my microphone, just a little bit. Hopefully that makes things a little bit clearer. But okay, so today I think I'm going to continue working on UVing the scene. We're almost done. I think all I need now is just this wall in the back here, and this table, and a couple of small little props. So let's try and get, I have 30 minutes here, so I'm going to try and get the more complex stuff out of the way. Because, I mean, this little box and this pottery and this cup is pretty simple to do. So let's start off with this wall. This would be a good warm up here. Let's go to Windows and Hypershade. I probably don't even need to do that. There's a bunch of shortcuts on how to just add materials. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to isolate this. Make it nice and simple, easy to see when it's isolated. Make sure there's no faces that I'm not going to need. So I have backface culling on, so that way you can see it when everything's all together. So let's go to my edit UVs here, and so you're going to see this. Let's go to border edges, and let's get an automatic map going here just to kind of make this a lot quicker. So there we go. We got ourselves an automatic map. This is actually a pretty simple one because it looks pretty good already. I might want to combine this together, so let's do that. Well, what I'm noticing here is a weird edge. You guys see that? I see this weird edge here. I don't know what's going on. So I might just... yeah, there's definitely something going on here that's really weird. So I think I'm gonna have to go in... well, first off, it's a N1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sided face. So this is not a good thing to have. So I'm just gonna delete this here, and hopefully this solves some issues. I don't know what the deal is here. Okay, so let's go and fill this up. Let's see, edit mesh. It should be a pen poly tool, and let's append this together, right? And I'm gonna press a G to repeat that tool again. I'm just gonna press enter, G again, and I'm just going to append this all together. There we go. This way we don't have any weirdness going on with our polys. We always want to try to be in the quads or in triangles. Try and stay away. I mean, we shouldn't have any 5-sided polygons, especially if we're making video games. That's a big no-no. And then I'm just going to move and sew these here. I'm just going to go to UV texture edit, and I'm just going to move and sew, and I'm going to move and sew this one as well. There we go. I'm going to do the same on this side, and so there we go. I actually didn't turn on my focus booster, so let's turn that on right now. I have to update this again. Sure, I'll just do a quick update here. I like using focus booster. That way, it's like a timer application, right? Okay, so obviously this looks off, right? I'm gonna turn this down here. This looks off, so I'm just gonna take it out, unfold it. There we go. Looks pretty, right? And I'm going to do the same on this side. 2 shell, or 2 UVs, 2 shell, and I'm just gonna unfold it. There we go. Obviously, this doesn't need to be the same scale. Close enough. Close enough. That should be good. Okay, and then now I'm just going to normalize this so it all fits inside the scale. And maybe lower this down a bit. And I believe this should be flipped upside down like that. There we go. And I think both of them are flipped upside down, so I'm just going to flip it back up this way. And this one is obviously, if I really wanted to make sure that's all correct, just flip it out. There we go. So this should make, so I mean there's not that many small pieces, right? This is obviously the big wall, like the whole wall, and you want to maximize that UV space as much as possible. This is just a little, this little area here is just a small little shelf, right? So you're not going to need that much space for it, right? Theoretically, you're not going to need that much space for it. So what I'm going to do is, obviously we want this to take up the most space. So I'm going to normalize this up there, make sure that it's fully taking up the full 0 to 1 space. I don't mind this, the size that it is. I don't mind this. Depending on how much space we have, I might want to sew this together, this middle part. So we'll see what we have after we've put everything into here. So I'm just gonna go like that. Let's see, what do we have here? So this part here, I might sew this because it's such a small piece. I might just sew this together, right? And then I'm just gonna unfold that, make sure that it's using all the space that it needs. And this part up here, oh, is this done yet? It's just done. Okay. Here's my focus booster. It's a little bit too late for me now to use the focus booster since what is it? I've already recorded 7 minutes. So if I change this to maybe, let's go another 22 minutes. There. Got my focus booster on. Okay, so let's see, what do we got here? Okay, so we definitely have a bunch of space that's not being utilized. And so what I can do is I could almost separate. No, I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to separate this. Okay, so we got a bunch of options here. Everything looks pretty like equal in size. I was thinking maybe I can just separate this area out, but I'm not too sure how much room that's going to give me, really. So I think I'm going to scratch that idea. What I'll do here though is maybe I will maximize this area. Maximize this. Because right now it's getting pretty big. Let's see. So it should be about that size, right? If you're looking at the boxes, right? It's pretty close to where it needs to be, like in relative scale wise. And what I can do is I can probably fit, you know, the candles or something into the same UV texture sheet. This is way too, like, if you notice, this is way too, like, the grid's way too small. So I think this is more of around the size that it should be. Let's see. Yeah. So that's how it should be. And like I said, I'll probably add, to fill up this UV space, I'm sure I can add other props and such to fill it up. Shouldn't be an issue, I don't think. Okay, so let's go back to unisolating this. And so I mean, obviously I can probably add this pottery and stuff into this texture sheet, and I'll reorganize everything later. I've also noticed that this is another wall, so I could probably add this wall to that texture sheet actually. So let's go and do that. I'm just going to go assign UV texture. I'm going to isolate this so I can see it just by itself, and I'm going to automatic map this to start, and then I'm going to go to edge, border edges, and let's see how this looks. Okay, so right away I probably want this and this to be sewed together, and probably have it ending right here. I'm gonna cut that. Take this, I'm gonna shell this out. There we go. Unfold it. Normalize it so that it fits in the 0, 0. I really hope that the past few days here, anyone who's trying to learn how to UV is starting to understand a bunch of different ways to do UVs now. I mean, it's pretty much all I've been doing for the past little while. It's too bad that you guys couldn't see how I modeled a bunch of stuff. But I hope that you guys have, people who are watching this, understand the concept of UVing a little bit more, or if they were struggling before, they have a better understanding of how it works, or the ways to make it a little bit easier. Because I found when I first learned how to UV, I didn't really understand the concept of it, and no one really taught me tools and tricks. Or sorry, I found UVing really difficult until I found these, these tools to make it a lot easier. Okay, so there we go. So right away I notice again that this is a lot, the squares in this is a lot smaller, so I need to shrink this so that it kind of matches up with the squares, right? So let's see, so that's relatively close, so that's pretty good. So this and this, so that's pretty good. What I can do now is I can click here and I can show everything else. I can add this, so I'm just going to go to object mode, which is F8. I'm going to add these two together. So now let's go isolate selected, and what I can do is I can combine them. Well, combine them. View selected. I can combine them now, and this way, if you go to the UV texture editor, you can see them together, right? You can see the UVs together, and I can start to piece this together. So I can go something like this, right? And then I can go something like this. So just move these around, just adjust them, see how they work together. If I don't like it, I can always try and squeeze them in certain specific ways. So this isn't working out as well as I thought, so maybe I will flip it around like this, and maybe flip this around like this, something like that. Alright, maybe I can move this up a tad. There we go. See, so now I've filled up a little bit more space, right? And that's what's really important here. And if I really want to match these squares up, this should be a little bit smaller. And I probably should do that, because this texture sheet, because it is a wall, it's going to be a lot higher resolution. I think that should be pretty good. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty decent in scaling there. So Now I think this fits a little bit nicer with everything else. I can probably fit one of these up here. And maybe even fit this by itself right here. Right? And this way now I have some space in here to put in any miscellaneous things that I might need. Okay, so that is done. So now we got the wall done. So we got all the walls done. The ceiling, still need to figure out what I want to do with the ceiling. Thinking maybe the ceiling should be, let me just look at my reference here, and this is probably the first time that I've shown you guys my inspiration, so this will be fun. Let me just quickly go through this here. Where's my reference folder? So I have like a huge reference folder here. Maybe I should be showing you guys this. So this is where I got a lot of my inspiration, and I'm starting to notice that there is really, I'm probably going to make the ceiling stone as well. And if I'm going to be doing that, then this should be okay, because this is going to match the bottom here. And the camera's not going to be showing the ceiling too often anyways, so I should be okay with just doing it that way. And I'll probably, when this is all said and done, this is all finished, I'm probably going to take some of these logs and I'm going to put them as like support beams, right, going across, because I'm assuming that's, you know, every stone building, any building in general, so structure-wise, needs support, right? So, okay, so let's get down to the, how much time do I have? I have about 12 minutes left in my 30-30 challenge here. I'm wondering if I can get this UV in 12 minutes. Probably not. This complex table here. So I'm gonna try and get these two done in the next 12 minutes. If not, you know, I'll be recording another episode probably tomorrow, and it should finish off with, and then that should finish off my UVing portion of this project, and then I'm gonna start going into creating the textures for these things. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's get this going here. Existing UV texture. Again, you know, this should start to get pretty, you guys should start to understand the workflow here a lot more when it comes to UVing texturing. Okay, so let's do an automatic map to quickly get the things rolling. Turn on edges, and hold on here. Let me just try and do this again. Last time I was having issues with doing this. Sorry. Panel. Where is it? Layouts. UV texture edit and perspective. There we go. And I think I know the problem that I had earlier. The problem that I had the other day was the fact that I had my UV texture open or minimized somewhere else, and that's why it couldn't pop it onto this screen. Now that I have it separated, it should be a lot better. Okay, so let's see here. We have, okay, sorry, brain fart. So first off, we have to make the seam. So let's make the seam on this side. So I like this seam. We'll keep that seam. I don't like this seam here. And we'll get rid of all the other seams. And we're going to decide that we're going to create the seam right here. Right here. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to unfold it. It's weird how it has a very unique shape, but it is what it is. So that's the bottom, and let's see here. So because we're going to have the seam here, I'm going to cut this. Cut that. How should we do this here? How should we do this? Okay, let's actually not cut that part. Let's have this. And remember, guys, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. It's just me explaining to you guys what's going through my mind on how I would like this to be done. So I always gotta make sure I point that out, so that people don't think that what I'm doing is the only way, or this is just a way for you to do this, right? No, that's the beautiful thing about 3D modeling, or just being creative in general. There's no right or wrong way to do things. There's the traditional way and, you know, recommended ways to do things, but that's it, you know. Okay, so I'm just gonna move it. So that I have done, I'm just gonna unfold this, and it's gonna look like a jumble mess, right? It's gonna look like crap. So I'm gonna have to make a seam here. I'm gonna cut this, and this should make it look a lot nicer. Add a more, it'll look more reasonable. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this way. So see, I mean, again, you know, you gotta go and you gotta test things out. And hopefully you guys are going to learn from my mistakes as well. I'm actually just going to keep this the way that it was before. I'm going to cut it, and it's just going to look nicer this way, I think, you know. You have that nice, perfect circle, right? So I'm going to keep it like that. It just looks cleaner. Here, just going to go like that. Look at that. It's just nice and straight, you know. And again, I'm going to create that seam. Where's that seam right now? See, so the seam is in the wrong place. So I'm just going to move and sew this. And I'm going to move the seam here. I'm going to cut that. Unfold it. And it should be a lot nicer. Okay, so I'm just going to move everything that has, like, that looks pretty decent onto one side. Just going to move all this here. This is already unfolded. I'm going to see if I can make this look even nicer. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks a little bit nicer than before. Okay. Actually, I don't know. It's pretty questionable. Let's see. Yeah, this way. I think this way looks a little bit nicer. Okay. So we got that. We got that. Now we need the top part. So top part. This one looks pretty decent already. I'm just going to unfold it. And then this part is kind of the sketchier area. So I'm just going to, again, where's that seam? The seam is right here, right? So I'm going to keep this seam the way that it is. And I'm going to go like that, go like that. I'm going to unfold it. And then I'm actually gonna unfold this and attach this together with it. So I'm gonna do just like that. I'm just gonna unfold that. So now we have this going on here. And I'm just gonna unfold it. And there we go. What I could do is I can join this together and unfold it like that. There we go. So that's the top part. And what I can do is I can probably shrink this down, put it inside the center here. There we go. Down inside the center. Bam. And then this is the bottom piece. It's the very bottom. So you're not going to see this very often. So I'm just going to shrink this down. And save UV space, which is going to move it into here. And there we go. So we got this little pottery thing. I'm just going to delete all the history on it. And then I'm going to freeze the transformations on it. And there we have it. And I'm just going to go back to perspective mode. And turn off isolated so you can see everything in place. And I got about 4 minutes left here, so I can probably finish this cup up right now. So let's try and do this in 4 minutes. Okay, so again, I'm just going into assign that texture, isolate it, go to my it's my hypershade. Let's go to panels, let's go to save layouts. What is it? UV texture perspective. And from here, I'm going to, where is that? Turn on edges, and then I'm going to automatic map this. Okay. So here I'm going to create a seam as well, and I'm going to create the seam right here, right underneath the handle. Okay, I'm going to create the seam right underneath the handle, cut that, and cut this, cut it. Okay, right in the middle. So I need to make sure that these are all sewed together. Oh, it's having a hard time selecting because it probably is selecting a few things. Go here, move and sew. You can sew these things together. Move it up. Move and sew these together. There we have it. So now we have that all sewed, nice and looking pretty. Alright, I'm just gonna move these out. I'm gonna unfold it, make sure that looks good. It looks like crap the second I did that, so I'm just gonna unfold it like that. There you go. That's a way more presentable state for the beer. Now the inside is a little bit more questionable. How I want to do this. I'm thinking this is just gonna be a steel cup. So again, I'm just gonna move and sew this, and I'm just gonna make this the seam. Cut that. And I'm going to take this and I'm gonna unfold it. There we go. So that's the unfold tool. Now you guys understand why I love this unfold tool. It's just amazing. Makes your life so much easier. And you know, when I was going to school and I was learning this, no one taught me the unfold tool until like near the end of my schooling. And boy, is it amazing. Edit. I'm gonna merge. Merge them. See, so that was three vertices, right? Now I'm gonna merge it. I'm gonna do that again. Merge it. Now it's down to one vertice. Okay, really important. And I'm just double checking to make sure that nothing else got merged accidentally. So that's done. So that's the bottom. See, it's looking kind of weird, so I'm just going to unfold it so it's nicer. Right, and it's the bottom, so it's not gonna. I'll probably make it a lot smaller. And let's see. So the top part. So now, let's do the handle. So the handle, I'm gonna make. Let's sew these together. I'm gonna sew this together as well. Oh, sew this together as well. Okay, I'm gonna sew this together. I don't know why this doesn't want to sew though. So there's definitely something going on. Alright, so it looks like my 30 minutes is up. But I'm going to finish up this cup before I call it done. So I am breaking some rules here, but I know you guys will forgive me. So there's definitely something going on here. It's not responding properly. It's either there's a bunch of vertices here, and I think that that's the case because look, it says that there's 5 vertices, when there's only 3 that I see visually. So I'm just going to go edit mesh, and I'm just going to merge this. Okay, so now it's 3, right? And hopefully this fixes the issue. Yes, it does. Okay. Again, that just comes with experience. I remember when I was in school as well and learning this stuff, I constantly got frustrated because you know, teachers would teach you things and you use it and you're like, why isn't it working, right? And again, it just comes with a lot of years and years of experience that you start to encounter these issues, and then you find solutions for them through trial and error, or from asking your teammates. Okay, so now I have that done. I almost want to experiment to see if I sew this together, if it will look good, but something inside me tells me that it won't, just from experience. But I will sew these together. I'm getting hungry. It's early in the morning today. It's around 9 in the morning right now. I wanted to make sure I utilize the fact that my little brother isn't here today, so that I can record peacefully and you guys have a nice audio and you guys don't have to worry about my little brother swearing in the background. Let's try and sew this together. And I think, you know, for the first month, I'll record regardless if my brother's home or not, the audio. But I think, you know, if I was a viewer, I'm thinking I probably wouldn't like it so much if there's a bunch of swearing in the background. So what I might start doing is I might just start recording my sessions without any commentary if my brother is at home. This way it's just not so annoying. I love my brother, but as a person who's watching this and trying to learn, it's a little bit distracting, I think is the right word. Okay, so this is all done. I'm gonna destroy my history. I'm going to freeze my transformations, and there you go. Now we have the cup. We have pretty much everything UV'd now inside the scene except for this box at the bottom, which I totally forgot about, and this table. So the next episode, hopefully I can wrap up all of the UVing for the scene, and then you guys can start seeing how I create my textures for my scene. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you guys tune in for the next one.